Night and day are catching hell. People think I'm doing well just because I sing a few calypso. But that is my misery. Calypso don't make money, but most of them don't know that I have my axe to grind, just like every other man, existing in poverty and this giant ghetto land. But I intend to hang on. Tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice. I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me. No way, they go have to beat me, they go have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land, nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, lad, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me. Me mama must yam, me papa must yam, me woman must yam, me picnic must yam. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, lad, nobody go run me. Life is much for us to choose, some we win and some we lose, but sometimes life is so confusing. I had a lot of friends one time whom I used to wine and dine and gave them bread when they needed. Now most of them against me, take me make the enemy, simply because I am not what they all want me to be. And with the political views I can't agree, but tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice, I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me algae. No way, they gonna have to beat me, they gonna have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land, nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, lad. Nobody go run me. Me woman must yam, me papa must yam, me woman must yam, me picnic must yam. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me. Yeah. 12 days I at CBC, work at Halcyon for free, when they went bankrupt and had no money. Because of my tolerance, they gave me the assurance the job belongs to me. But I hear some people hide in our society. They don't like my calypso because they can't control me, so they plan to kick out my ass. Tell them, party no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice, I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me shorty. No way, all you have to beat me, all you have to bury me more than 6 feet and more. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land, nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me. Me mama must yam, me papa must yam, me woman must yam, me picnic must yam. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me. Tell them. Election come and gone, some of them treat me with scorn, others put the whole point against me. Tell them I don't give a damn, I am going to sing my song exactly as I see it. Whoever wants to make me a political enemy, who feel that they're playing God and could wreck my life for me, tell them I ain't running away. Tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice, I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me shorty. No way, all you have to beat me, all you have to bury me more than 6 feet and more. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land, nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, lad, nobody go run me. Me mama must yam, me papa must yam, me woman must yam, me people must yam, lad, nobody go run me. Yes.
So good night, and once again here I am with another video. I hope that maybe sometime in your lifetime you may take a look at this video, because that's what I do. And for me, it is always a pleasure being here. Now, I know this around the time of the year when most people are celebrating their whatever, the Xmas or Christmas season, and the time of the year again when people throw all caution to the wind and they do what they do. It's all about the flesh anyway. I pray one day that our people could just simply abandon those kind of holidays, those kinds of feast days, and start pulling themselves together, find out who they truly are, understand what is happening on the face of the earth, you know, and living accordingly. Okay, now a few days ago I passed through town, right, and I noticed that there's a lot of people, I mean, just around, you know, like shopping and, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, just shopping, just like how they always do, you know. I mean, everybody just like spending their money. I mean, we've been known that from since children, you know, since kids, you know. And during the time when I was a child, and I'm an adult now, and so many things happen on the face of the earth. There are so many knowledge out here right now, you know, and so much information is out here right now. I mean, for the past 20-25 years, you are free to get any information that you want. And I find that it is a little heartbreaking that the majority of people are still the way they are. You know, the same philosophy, the same traditions and stuff like that. And there are so much information in front these people. You know, let me tell you something, right? The scripture said that, okay, when you don't know, the Most High blink, right? But you know, the scripture always say the news or the good news, the gospel will be brought to every corner of the earth, and everybody will get an opportunity to know. You know, it's not like you wouldn't know. You would know. You will get the opportunity to know. Most of us will have the opportunity to know the truth, and we will shut our eyes to it. That will be your judge. That will judge you. Because we don't know. The Most High Elohim moves in mysterious ways. And you find that right now you have things like internet, and you have all these radios and TVs and whatever. You know, what about if those things the Most High bring it about, so at least we could, there are a lot of evil in everything on the face of the earth, but what about if we bring it so that some of you or most of you or all of us could get the opportunity to hear the word at some point and go into the book and read it and find your salvation? What about if that is what we're supposed to do? But when you didn't have information, you behave arrogantly, ignorantly, foolishly. You have the information in front of you, yet you still continue to behave the same old ways. It reminds me of something. It reminds me of when Yahushua HaMashiach came down on the face of the earth, and the people were living the same old traditional way, and he gave them fire about it. He say, you know, you and your man-made traditions and doctrines, and people still continue to live that way. He came, he taught, he died, he went, and he left the majority of people in the same old state that they are. And then he left those people in that state, and up to this blessed day, most of them are still in the same state. Never made this effort to change. That's crazy. People, we have the opportunity to do what we need to do to make our lives at least presentable in the sight of our Elohim. Most of us want to make our life look presentable in the sight of men, people. How this person would look at me, how this person would, how they would perceive me. I have to put on this, I have to put on that to go down the road, because here we're going down. People would look at me. I have to buy this vehicle, I have to build this big house, because people would look at me in a particular way. That's crazy, man. We have to do better than that. We should do better than that. We should do better than that. We have to seek our salvation. Anyway, it's always nice being here. So oh yeah, I got this. Anyway, sorry for the little interjection here. But that's one of my favorite songs, and those songs basically are inspirational to me. Okay? So I know it would be to a lot of us, but in the meantime, let us see what we have to say, and then after we will go into our song. Now, let me tell you something. I could remember there was a little story somebody told me. Alright? Now, the person said that the way they captured black people, to bring them in slavery, is that they had this copper full of honey or sugar, and then they told one black person to taste the sugar, and when he tasted it, it was sweet, and he told all his friends, come, the sugar tasting good. So everybody gather around the copper, and they start eating the sugar, because the sugar was sweet. And with that, the people, the enslavers, they just come and collect everybody around the copper, and they went with them. Of course, we know that is not true. But I'm seeing it happening actually, currently. So I'm thinking people look at us in different ways, and they try funny tricks on us anyway. And for example, when they want to do things, for example, anything they want to sanction, anything they want to get done, they want to find themselves in politics, like around the world, they always target the black race, our people, and they always try to get at least one black person to say, yes, this is good. With that, they will use this black person to lure all the other black persons around the copper to eat sugar. So they would come and they would get together, taste the sugar, get so caught up in tasting the sugar that will actually kill them anyway. And they gather everybody and they achieve what they want to achieve. It just be happening, okay? I'm just telling that little story showing you that we have to be careful when certain people want to target your people for you to do something. We have to be careful. Anyway, but I'm gonna talk basically about our people in that segment, what I've seen happen. So I will tell you a story again. There was a story of a Bajan and a Grenadian. Okay, you know, as kids, people usually tell us those stories. You know, it's fun, right? So they said this Bajan and this Grenadian had a cook. You know, so what they had to cook was potato. You know, sweet potato. Potatoes, yeah, potatoes. So they had to cook potatoes. And what happened is that when the potato was cooked, the Bajan went on the inside and he was taking out potatoes from the pot. And every time he break a potato, he threw it outside the window. I say, this one is not good. Then he took a next one and constantly he doing that and said the potato was not good. But anyway, the potato was good. But what happened is that the Grenadian realized that no, that Bajan is trying tricks on me. So he went outside and all the potatoes that he threw outside, the Grenadians pick up the potato and realized that the potato was good. So he threw out about 3/4 of the potatoes out of the pot. So the Grenadian get the 3/4 of the potato outside because they were actually good, right? Now the thing about it is that that's a trick, you know, because if the Bajan throw out all the potatoes, then he would eventually share the quarter inside and then go and take the rest outside, and then he would get the vast amount of potatoes. But then the Grenadian in that case was smarter, right? Now you might hear a different version of that story, you know, because people give different twists and stuff like that. But those are tales people used to be telling around the fireside and everything like that. Now, I personally, as I grow older, I find myself looking at those tales as you could say like lessons in itself, lessons in life. But then you know the lessons that they entails are not just for local people but right up to leadership. So I will tell you. I remember I remember that we used to have cane in Grenada, like people used to have market lands that they produce their cane and they sold their canes and stuff like that. Now, I'm sure I said this in videos already. And eventually, the way the whole rum and sugar factory market turn around based on ownerships and stuff like that. The people who owned the factory, you know, and sugar that is the sugar and the cane and stuff like that. They think that they came to a decision that people in Grenada producing cane, to them they are not making a profit, you know, and it is easier for them to get molasses from Guyana or somewhere, you know, than take the sugar cane that was produced here to make the sugar and the rum. Okay, so the vast amount of cane farmers that we had in Grenada, I don't know what agreement were made to them, whether they were compensated or what, I don't know. But what I do know is that they lost their jobs. You know, they were cut off from the cane industry. There was no need for them to produce cane anymore. So those people who had tractors and stuff like that, those people who made those investments, That is the cane farmers we had in Grenada. Maybe they had to sell it, maybe they some of them maybe spoiled, whatever. But they didn't have a job anymore. So the factory went along to buy molasses from Guyana because they think it was cheaper, or they say it was cheaper. And that is what happened to the cane. Fast forward a little bit, some years later, you have companies coming from overseas, not close, I'm not talking about companies in the Caribbean, I'm talking about companies maybe from Europe and stuff like that. They come here, accumulate a whole lot of land, whether I rent, lease, whatever. But then they're producing cane massively. Now, it's true, they employ a whole lot of people, in our community, but those people don't own the lands. Now, they will use the cane that they plant here. They accumulate a whole lot of land planting cane in massive quantity. And they will be making rum or whiskey or whatever they will be making. And they will be exporting that, I think. I think they don't make it for Grenada market because, come on, Grenada have enough rum as it is drinking. So they make it for their market. Now, it's true, maybe the people who lease the land maybe make a little money and stuff like that. I'm telling you, you gotta be real. Maybe even the government make a little money. But at the end of the day, 10, 15 years from now, when these people make their thing and they find somewhere else, what will be happening to the lands they just leave floating around with cane in it? They could pick up and go anytime they want. We think about our children or our grandchildren, during those times, all these lands, I mean, it's just like we would be just like generation after generation just back at square one. Why? Because we don't learn to appreciate and nurture what we have. So for now, they would make a little money. We'll have a little people who cutting bush with them, cutting cane. Then if they want to continue in this vein, then obviously a next generation of people will be cutting cane for those people and spraying their lands for those people. Then to keep on to keep on this tradition, then another generation will have to be doing that. Because if it reach that point where only machine doing the work, then that become another issue in our country again. We have to be very, very careful. We have to be careful. So the people who are doing it now, what would happen? Would they put their children to take up the mantle of cutting cane for those people again next 20, 30, 40 years? Who want to be doing that? Seriously. Agriculture is okay. Agriculture is our foundation. Agriculture is everything. But do you want your children 20, 30 years from now to be cutting cane? Maybe at that time machine will be doing the work. But that is not even the problem. The problem is that we as a people have to learn to own our thing, what we have. We have to learn to nurture our thing, not give it over to people who will come and abuse it. Like what they do in Africa. Okay, they do that with all the minerals and everything in the soil. Big companies just messing up their country and everything like that. We don't want that. We have to learn. We have to be able to nurture what we have, grow what we have, and build a life for ourselves. As long as we have all these foreigners coming in and doing whatever they want in our country, we would never own our country. You see? We would never own it. I don't know who told these people that sugarcane didn't make any sense. Okay? But they just decide, well, okay, well, they'll keep it like a dead job. So other foreigners come to take it up. Now, we have other things that would happen because, believe me, we have seen that happening on many occasions. Typical example over the world, these people does be doing this thing. One nation of people doing that. When marijuana was made illegal, marijuana wasn't made illegal because it was causing people to die, it was causing people to get mad, nothing of the sort. No. Marijuana was made illegal when the very same people who made it illegal decided to make alcohol legal. Because if you would know that particular history, there was a certain time when alcohol was illegal in America. So after they realized they could tax it and they could make money off of it, they make it legal. Now it have this other section of people of the same nation decided that they can't run down moonshine, they can't run down whatever alcohol making in the hills and stuff like that. The same way they used to be they just be doing marijuana now. They can't do that. So they have to look for some other avenue, some other people to terrorize. So they start terrorizing the people who smoke marijuana, like the black people, the Mexicans, and the Indians, and stuff like that. So they decide, well, they will make a lie about marijuana because at that time they doesn't have a monopoly on marijuana. They cannot control marijuana because marijuana is like you plant a little tree there and everybody just, So these people are the people that monitor your system. So they decide, you know what, this thing is not good, it's making people crazy, so we have to make it illegal. So that means now if they catch you with it, they could make a money off for you or they send you to jail. Now, fast forward a little bit. After so many years of marijuana being illegal, listen carefully. After so many years, now you find that marijuana is being smoked legally in a whole lot of places in the US and even England and Europe and all them places. Marijuana is being totally legal in those places. You could smoke your joint and everything, the police have nothing to tell you. Now, look at our area where we live right now. If the police see you with a little marijuana, he lock you up, maybe beat you. The police might hear somebody smoking marijuana up the road or they see a marijuana tree, like they don't have anything much to do. A whole squad, maybe 2-3 vehicles flying on up the road for maybe one marijuana tree. That is how they have us. While they marketing marijuana, smoking the marijuana, and we down here fighting up with ourselves. Why? Because they say it is illegal. It is illegal for us, but not illegal for them. It's illegal for them. Now that come like they put it out the window. But anyway, we have to be very, very, very careful. We have to be careful. Now, there is a situation with the people and the judiciary. Now, I think most of us know of the situation with the guy who actually sexually molested a child in Grenada. But anyway, before we touch on that, just give me one moment. Let us get a little music here.
79, a most historic freedom time. The people of Grenada rose with dignity, rose up from oppression, rose up from iniquity and shame. From the darkness of desecration, shaking up paralysis of corruption, tyranny, violence and subjugation. To shine out before the Caribbean and strike terror into repressive regime. As people as politicians, and now trembling in their hands. Stand up, Grenada. Stand up again, Grenadian. Don't let nobody come in and dictate your course of action. All of them want oppose your revolution. A political band is just like every in their own island. Fight for your rights. Protect what you have. You fought a good fight. Protect what you have. Don't give in a single inch. Don't retreat, not even a pinch. Don't compromise your revolution. For the scandalous teaching of aggressive political scams in the Caribbean. No way, never I say, no way. Some talk of legality, constitutionality, but only to expose the hypocrisy. But if you examine the state of affairs in their land, you will find human rights violations, total disregard for the constitution, complex political persecution, and a wave of sanction violence with the blessing of legislative criminals enforced by sadistic gangs. Just like the mongoose one, stand up.
Yes. So yes, so we I think everybody know about the situation with this guy who abused a little child, a little male child in Grenada here, and he passed him before the court. And the word on the street is that he was charged like $1,500, $1,500, and the court was to get 900. If I am wrong, then you could correct me, but that's the word on the street. The court will get $900 and the little boy will get $600. I mean, man, come on. You know, you abuse a little child. You see, and there we are. You know, there are information going around. I mean, people should know what is happening. I mean, we know that this thing, this sexual molestations and everything is like taboo in our communities, you know. It's like a curse, it's like a blight. And it is something that we supposed to crack down on heavily. You know, a little child, 6 year old, was not supposed to go through that. Yet he went through it, and then for his pains he gets $600. I wouldn't call the word, but seems as though that's a certain kind of message you give the child, you know, that it is okay to get molested for $600. That is how I look at it. Anyway, the person going to America and maybe they commit the same crime. And the news or the word on the street now is that they stand a chance of getting maybe over 35 years in jail or something like that, imprisonment. Now, if somebody do something like that in Grenada, we were supposed to actually put that person in jail for about 50 years. Because these people always feel they could come down in the Caribbean and abuse our people, abuse our women, abuse our children, and do stuff like that. Oh, if we want to go to the extreme or make it look really nice, we're supposed to stone him to death. That is how I look at it. That might sound barbaric, but if you think that is barbaric, then don't read the scripture ever again. Yes, so with that now, let us go a little further. Now, think about it. We are here, people killing people for no reason, people doing wickedness like they do all over the earth, you know, stuff like that, you know. So we have our situation like everybody else. But we don't hang people. People commit the most gruesome crime in Grenada and we don't hang them. We feed them. We do stuff. I'm not saying that people don't need second chances and stuff like that. I'm just telling you about the system, how it runs. Now, you find that places like Grenada, if you decide, well, okay, we hanging people today, or we hanging somebody tomorrow, you might surprise how much people from all over the America and Europe coming along and no, you can't hang them. That is violating the human rights. How is it? It is violating the human rights. The point is, that is what they say. They don't want you to kill them. Don't kill those people. Feed them. Let them get fat. Let them commit homosexuality in their prisons. Let them come out so they could rape people children again. Listen to me carefully. I am not saying that people should not be forgiven. But there are certain things people do in our society that it is really hard. You understand? To really accept it. But then still, that is not a case. That is not what the point I want to make. The point I want to make, the same people who telling you that not to do it, not to execute them, whatever. It's the same people that hanging people every Monday and maybe a little Thursday and Friday. Because they want to clean up the system. It's the same people that before somebody think about just a little, they don't even have to commit crime. They just shoot them and kill them. And these are the same people in the same system that tell you, no, don't kill those people. Like they're so pro-life. It's the same people that say, hey, you have a right to kill your little children inside their belly before they're born. It's the same people telling you that. So who are you taking advice from? Why is it that they want to tell you to do something but they're doing something completely different? We have to be careful. We must. Okay? And the foolishness will go on and go on and go on. The point is, if we fail to stand for something, then everybody could just come and treat us like if we are a prostitute. They just come, they just use us anyhow, in whatever way they want, and then they're gone. You understand? I would not, as a matter of fact, be surprised if maybe a year or two from now, some people come now in Grenada and call themselves not King Co this time. They might call themselves Banana Co or Nutmeg Co or whatever Co. And then they start accumulating lands, and then you seen fields and fields of banana with no diseases. You understand? But alas, they would not be yours anymore. You'll be a spectator. You'll be watching, just like how you're watching the cane and the cane no belongs to you. Then you'll be watching all these bananas, and then you will remember, most of us will remember how we used to go through the field and toting our own bananas. But this time you're running through the bananas with white people with cutlass with big straw hat on the head, looking like fools. Now, I am being real and I'm telling you exactly how I see it. Then it wouldn't be your banana. That means you lose your country. You lose it. You lost it because for one, you're too lazy, and you teach your children how to be lazy and unpatriotic. And that is exactly the road we are heading. We have to stand for something. I just tell, look at how you all enthusiastic running around buying ham, you know, looking to get free ham online, everybody promoting pig meat. Everything that is against you as a people, every living thing, that is what being promoted in your life. And then you are very, very gullible. You accept everything. Everything they throw at you, you just take it. Man, we are living in a very sad state. For real. It's a very, very, very sad, sad state. of affairs. There are so many things that we should know to be free as a people, and we don't. Now, and then we come to the other segment of our program. In the meantime, and it would link with the other segment, really and truly. So, give me a moment.
Stand up again, Grenadian. Don't let nobody come in and dictate your course of action. All of them want force your revolution. And political bandits just like here in their own island. Fight for your rights. Protect what you have. We fought a good fight. Protect what you have. Don't give in a single inch. Don't retreat, not even a pinch. Don't compromise your revolution. For those scandalous people, oppressive political scams in the Caribbean. No way, never I say, no way. God bless you, Grenada. May your freedom be blessed with longevity and prosperous your economy. May He grant your leaders wisdom, endurance, and courage to go on. For your road will be long and rugged. Many other problems to be confronted. God against corruption being repeated. May that rude awakening that early dawn be an example to tyrant in other land. No power, no weaponry can extinguish a people's will to be free. Stand up, Grenada. Stand up again, Grenadian. Don't let nobody come in and dictate your course of action. All of them want force your revolution. And political bandits just like here in their own island. Fight for your right. Protect what you have.
You fought a good fight.
Protect what you have. Don't give in a single inch. Don't retreat, not even a pinch. Don't compromise your revolution. For those scandalous people, oppressive political scams in the Caribbean. No way, never I say, no way.
Yeah, so here we are again with, I think, is about almost the last segment, but here we are. Now, with all that is happening, what I realize is that our problem is that we have absolutely no unity. And if we have unity and we put heads together, if we have one culture and we put heads together, if we have one way of life and we put heads together, if we unite as a people, none of this foolishness, what is happening in our country, could happen. Because we all would be responsible collectively for our destination. Now, you realize that as it is now, everybody has a different view. Everybody see things different. Everybody want to promote their view. They and the little group, they want to promote their view. You understand what I'm saying? So, with that, you have this person debating against that one because they want to push their idea. They think that they have it right, they have it correct, so they want to fight. They want to battle. They want to debate. And all the debating taking place for years, nothing happening. So then, during the time of the debate and the confusion, the conflicts, what happens? That is when the enemies came in. And listen, let me tell you something. That is happening every day of our life in our country. During the invasion in 1983, why do you think America invaded Grenada? Because we were totally separated. If we had a unified front, you think America would have come here? No. They couldn't have come because they know definitely they're meeting a unified body and people that willing to give their life for what they believe in. So America don't attack people like that. They can't because they know the implications. But they wait for 4 years until they get that separation, and that gave them the chance to come in. That is a lesson that we should learn. I will most definitely speak about that sometime in another video again, because we have to know the importance of unity. You understand? We have to know, because that is the only way we will ever survive as a people, if we are unified as one body, not the old separate from the young, and the young separate from the old, and then the rich separated from the poor. You see this foolishness? It would never work for our people. Maybe it worked for other nations, but for our people it would never in life work, whether you want to believe it or not. It's the absolute truth. But then let us take a little look at what caused our people to be so separated. I look at it like in two things, and everybody would tell you that. But sometimes when they say that, they don't really know why it is so or how it is so. But anyway, I look at it like religion. Yes, religion and politics. You see that two components? That two components have people separated from each other. And I think it affects us as a people more than anything else. Because we as a people, we need to be united for our community to survive. We as a people, we need to form our own culture, not following the cultures of all these other people and nations, like what we always do, and find ourselves in trouble. But because of this politics and this religion, we are separated. I mean, it is so foolish that we are separated because of maybe a color of a jersey. You wear a jersey and a particular color, we are separated. Gangs, our people in the US and stuff like that, kill each other because one might wear a red jersey and the next one might wear a blue. You kill him because he wear a blue jersey or a red jersey. That is total foolishness, right? It's the same thing happening in our little community here in our Grenada here. A fella wear a yellow jersey, you take him for a member of another party because that is your identification. Like gang thing. A fella wear a green jersey, you look at him like, well, that is what he represents. So you wear red is the same thing. So people have to look to wear clothes now that doesn't have these kind of colors, just in case people might want to chop you, or people might want to look at your cross-eye, stuff like that. That is foolish, that is stupid, that is making no sense. And whether you want to believe it or not, that is not part of our original culture. You understand? We never do it like that. You understand what I'm saying? We are in bondage. We don't even know who we are. Most of you running around and saying this person will come and save you, and that person will come, and nobody is coming to save you. It's another delusion. Unless we don't get this unity together, unless we don't get this our Elohim in our lives, as a unified body, it's not happening. No matter how shiny somebody might come grinning for you, they are not your savior. It can't happen. You understand? It can't, it won't, it will never happen that way. So religion, politics. So this politics have you thinking all different things. You in that party, you in that party, real gangster mafia thing. So we have absolutely no unity. So you watch me cross-eye, and then you watch me vex. You maybe want me to lose my job too, because I don't support what you adhere to. You know, I might be looking at things differently. You know, but you don't have enough reasoning within you to understand that I have a mind of my own. So because I don't support you, you have no love for me. You want to destroy me, because that is what the politics is all about. You know, you listen to all the disrespect, all the lies, all the innuendos, all the foolishness, and then you know wickedness abound. Yeah. So politics play a major role in the separation and the destruction of our people. Right? Then there comes religion. Now, I just tell people that I don't go into any churches. This so-called religion and stuff, I don't. Right? And there are many reasons for that. You see, I'm the person who don't like confusion. I'm the kind of person who don't like all this conflict, all these religions and them have to offer. So you'll find that a lot of people will say, you know what? It has so much religion, I will just choose one and just go to it. And they go and they ignorantly or arrogantly stay in that religion, hoping they'll get what they desire in that religion, and they wouldn't even look outside this religion, because everything outside this religion they go to, or this denomination, whatever, you know, everything is like they make their choice, and everything else is, well, wickedness, they tell themselves. But they could be sitting right in hell thinking they're in heaven. Now, you have there are so many of this thing out here, these different religions, these different denominations, these different whatever, you know, everybody reading the same book, the same Bible. If you watch a Seventh-day Adventist pass on, he might have a King James version. You watch a Pentecostal going down the road, a King James version. You watch a Church of God going down the road, there is a King James version. Everybody carrying the same book, but everybody seems to be having a different philosophy, you know, from the same book. You know, there are ones where the book tell you not to do this, and somebody will tell you, no, that is not so, you have to do that. You know, that is confusion. So with that, now you have a lot of people mentally, spiritually separated from their own people, because everybody seems to be going in different direction. Anyway the breeze blow, they go. That is confusion, that is separation. The difference between myself and these people is that I choose to step away. I can't follow them. So if I step away and I read the book my not, I wouldn't say in my way, but if I read the book for myself, by myself, and seeking the Most High, because each and every one of them seems to have different Elohims, but I want to seek a Elohim that is not involved in all this confusion. So you find that I will step away, and a lot of people will look at that, well, that's crazy, you're supposed to choose one of that. No, I don't supposed to choose. I choose to be away from this. You understand? And I do believe that most people should choose to find themselves away from this confusion. You see? And you see, and the Bible basically talk about this, because even if, watch, if you look at the Bible, it's just like it said to get out from Babylon. understand? To get out from Babylon. Babylon is basically confusion. And that is what. So unless if you don't find peace in those places, just step away, because you will never find peace. If you find there, you have to make an effort to stay in these churches. You know, you find you in a situation where you cannot talk to anybody concerning your religion because you are scared. You understand? You are frightened that they might tell you something that you don't want to hear about your religion. You understand? You might find yourself in a situation that you're angry with people who tell you or who talk against your religion. You understand? Anytime you reach that point where you feel that you cannot face what people have to say about your religion and what you believe, then your religion is without merit. You're not free. You are being held hostage by a system, within a system. Free yourself, man. I just tell people again that any one of these denominations that was founded by the people who the scripture consider to be my enemies, I would never follow and I would never join. That's the truth. We have to know, we have to find ourselves. And if you have to find yourself, you have to step out from this wickedness. You must step out from this confusion and seek our Elohim. You would not find our Elohim in the midst of all this confusion like a referee in a boxing match between different kind of religions. You would never find that. You will have to step out. That's why he says step out from all my people. So if you know you are a people of our Elohim, you have to walk away from that. So all this is involved in how we live as a people. You understand? All this is involved. We have to know that those things that we are supporting is not of us, not of our Elohim. We don't belongs to that. You know, we just don't belongs to that. And I could go on and on about that. We don't belong. It's not part of our culture, original culture, no. Most of the things that we are trying to adopt, the reason why it never worked for us, because water and oil don't mix, you know, and then we are just here just making, I don't say, mawet with ourselves, you know. But we have to be careful. We have to be really careful right now, you know. We need to take that stand. As I tell you, we need to make that stand that would make us unite as a people. That stand that does not put our hopes in any man. We cannot, we should not be promoting anybody. I'm telling you. As if they are your savior, they are your God, they are your Elohim. We should not be doing that. You understand? We should be coming together. We should be living together with love. We should be living together and walking together, putting our Elohim in front, not people. There was a time when our people wasn't living with kings and prime minister and this kind of things. That is before we were introduced to slavery, especially in this part of the earth. But because of what we see other nations doing, we decided to ask our Elohim for a leader. And ever since we did that, it had been a cost to us ever since come right down. Just like when we were in the wilderness and our Elohim was feeding us, we asked him for meat. We want big meat. Well, I don't know if it's KFC give us, but he give us a lot of chicken, quail, whatever. And that meat has been killing us ever since. Yeah. Because other nations, we see eating all this meat. We want meat too. Always cause our destruction. So unless we don't pull ourselves together, we would never make it. As I said, wake up and shine your eyes. We fail to stand for something, so we fall for anything. We have our place in this world, but we have to find it. So you take care now, have a wonderful night. And let me do a king shot before I go. I like my boy. Peace.
Night and day are catching hell. People think are doing well just because I sing a few calypso. But that is my misery. Calypso don't make money, but most of them don't know that I have my axe to grind, just like any other man, existing in poverty and this giant ghetto land. But I intend to hang on. Tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice. I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me. No way, they gon' have to beat me, they gon' have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, lad. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Me mama must yam. Me papa must yam. Me woman must yam. Me picnic must yam. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me, lad. Nobody go run me. Life ain't much for us to choose. Some we win and some we lose. But sometimes life is so confusing. I had a lot of friends one time whom I used to wine and dine and gave them bread when they need it. Now most of them against me, take me, make the enemy, simply because I am not what they all want me to be. And with the political views I can't agree, but tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice, I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me, LG. No way, they gonna have to beat me, they gonna have to eat me, or the heads go roll. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Me woman must yam. Me papa must yam. Me woman must yam. Me picnic must yam. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, days I at CBC, work at Halcyon for free, when they went bankrupt and had no money. Because of my tolerance, they gave me the assurance the job belongs to me. But I hear some people hide in our society. They don't like my calypso because they can't control me, so they plan to kick out my ass. Tell them, party no dice. I ain't gonna eat lice. I ain't gonna grow old, sitting in the cold, not me shorty. No way, all you have to beat me, all you have to bury me more than 6 feet and more. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I go die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Nobody go run me. Me mama must yam. Me papa must yam, me woman must yam, me picnic must yam. Nobody go wrong me, nobody go wrong me. Election come and gone, some of them treat me with scorn, others put the whole point against me. Tell them I don't give a damn, I am going to sing my song exactly as I see it. Whoever want to make me a political enemy, who feel that they playing God and could wreck me life for me, tell them I ain't running away. Tell them for me no dice. I ain't gonna live lies, I ain't gonna grow on, sitting in the cold, not me shorty. No way, all you have to beat me, all you have to bury me more than 6 feet and more. Tell them I say I was born in this land, I'm gonna die in this land. Nobody go run me from where me come from. Nobody go run me, nobody go run me, nobody go run me, lad. Nobody go run me.
Yeah, man.
Me papa must yam, me papa must yam,